Good morning. How are you? Sorry, I'm just a minute or a half a minute late. Um, you're going to have to bear with me. There is like massive construction going on outside my office. Good morning, Debbie, Melinda. I'm just curious. Is it super loud? Is the noise of they're actually installing stone around my pool and they're cutting with a saw, so it's super loud. So I can try and switch to a different microphone and a headset if it's terrible. So as long as it's not too bad, I'm going to stick like this. Okay, good. No noise. Great. All right. Well, let's see. Was anybody on here at the Peachtree Boot Camp? We had an amazing weekend. It was just absolutely phenomenal. We had our leadership on Friday, and Sharon McClellan spoke Friday night, and we challenged everybody to see how many orders they could get to finish out our Reset 25 special. Four of the top 25, four of the top five were at our boot camp. Is that not crazy? um, and so we had a incredible group of energy, momentum. It was so good, and we got to meet our new West Coast regional director. My head was half cut off. I'm moving around. Brittany Myers, our new West Coast regional director. She was amazing. I'm saying all this so we can get the algorithms tuned up. Make sure you invite the peeps you want to be on this call. We're going to start this month out with a blast. It is Wednesday, February the 5th, and we have got a full slate ahead of us for this month. So let me ask you a couple questions just so we can get back into our normal rhythms here for a minute. How many of you have had a coaching call already? It's the 5th with what you would consider to be your upline mentor, the person that you allow to hold you accountable. How many of you have had that phone call already this month? Anybody? Debbie says she can't hear it. Oh, you can't hear the noise. Okay, you can hear me. Okay, good. Wow, Debbie had 21 reset orders and didn't hit the top five with surgery, and it knocked me out for 3 days. Crazy. I don't know. I think we had three or four people there that all got more than 25 orders. I mean, I know one girl said she got 70. It's crazy. I don't know if that was personally or on her team or what, but she got 70 reset orders. So, Debbie, congrats and glad you're recovering from surgery. I know you're doing great. And I know you had some team members get a bunch of customers too. So, but anyway, you should have, if you haven't already, we want you to start each month out willing to be accountable and have someone in your upline kind of be your coach who's coaching you. And the other thing I want to know, have you done already this month? And you can still do it, is the people on your team that you're working with, the ones that are saying, I want to be held accountable, I have goals. Have you reached out to them or have they reached out to you? I guess it could be either one, and done a call with them because their smaller goals are going to make up your bigger goal. That makes sense. Their smaller goals will make up your bigger goal, and your goal will be bigger. So you should have done that. That's kind of our rhythm for the month. And then we have this call to kind of come together and think about what can we do this month to start well? What are some things we can do to get the ball rolling? And I really wanted to think about this month. It's Heart Health Month. So hopefully you're leveraging your mind and thoughts about that's what people are thinking about. At least that's what some media is driving our people to think about this month. It's also, you can think about heart and love and Valentine's and Cupid and who's your sweetheart, who's your honey. Um, you see the little, what are those things called? The hearts, the Valentine's hearts. There's a name for those things that have the words on them. Puppy love. What is that? There's some other ones there. But my thought was, how do we share the heartbeat of our business? How do we share that on a regular basis? We're going to talk about a variety of things. But one of the things that I think about was, um, and I have this little paperweight back here. I'll show you. Um, how do you share the heartbeat of your business? And I think it's really about, if people want to know you're sharing from the heart, you have to care more about their health than you do the pitch. Have you all seen, this is, let me see if I can get it close enough. It says, maybe I need to back it. I don't know. You can't see it very good. It says, nobody cares how much you know until you know how much you care, until they know how much you care. And I think a lot about that in this business. I got that probably the third month I was in this business. I went to an all-day training. Oh, God, excuse me. I don't know why, but they gave us all a paperweight that day. And that's what it said on it. And that quote has meant a lot to me for a long time. But if you wanted to share the heartbeat, I mean, I'm talking about the depth, not just the facts and the details, but if you were talking to somebody about our product, one of the things that I've done over the years is when somebody I really, really, I mean, not that just I care about, but I really care about them. And I know Debbie and I have talked about people. There's somebody I really want to be on the product. They need to be on the product. I know what it's done for my family. They need to be on the product. And they're hard to close. And some people you sense, they feel like you're putting pressure on to buy. And I'll say something like this. I'll say, you know what? I don't care whether you buy Juice Plus from me or somebody else, but you need to be on Juice Plus. It's important enough for me that if you don't want to buy it from me, that's fine. But I really want you to be on Juice Plus. I care enough about you. And, I don't do this for this reason, but usually when you say that, it takes all the pressure off the conversation. They still end up buying from you because they don't know where else to get it. Can't go buy it in the store. But it takes the pressure off because you're letting them know that you care more about them than you do the revenue. If you all want to share a story, or you have a thought on here? Is there somebody that had a certain condition or meant so much to you that you kind of had to really work hard and say, I know you think I'm trying to sell you this stuff, and I'd love for you to buy it from me, but I really want you to be on this product. I mean, I know. I remember conversations Debbie and I had about family and friends and people, and I remember. I'm looking at the other people on the call. I don't know that I remember a lot of other conversations directly, but there's just people that you're not going to let the sales process get in the way of you caring for them. One of the ways, and we talked about this a little bit at the Peachtree Boot Camp, one of the ways for you to do that is to really share your story, because what we spent a good bit of time on is when people, this is more about recruiting maybe than selling the product too, but especially about recruiting. When you share your story, number one, from a product perspective, our research is amazing, but someone that knows you, hearing how the product has impacted you and hearing your story is going to mean more to them, or most of those people, than the research will. Now, you're going to have an unusual, maybe a scientist, a skeptical person, or a doctor, and they're going to cling to the research. But when you share your story, it connects, excuse me, I've got the hiccups. It connects you to them. It connects their desire for health and bettering themselves to something you've experienced, not something you've read about in a research study. And it's different. And when you share your story with people this month and you're trying to really speak from the heart, what you'll find is true every month, not just Heart Health Month, but every month you're going to find out that people are actually joining you. They're not joining Juice Plus, if that makes sense. People, when you talk to somebody, their expectation is, yes, the company's great, the product's great, but I'm super excited about doing this with Debbie, about doing this with Melinda, about doing this with Socorro, about doing this with Lisa, with Rhonda. They're joining you more than they're joining a company or a product. They're excited because you're excited, because a lot of times the good recruiters, they recruit because their energy, belief, and trust in this company is contagious. We also spent a lot of time at the Peachtree Boot Camp talking about being contagious in our trust. I told the story of um, church. And from the time Lori and I got married, even when we were both growing up, church was the center of our family life. We lived in, our house was closest to the church, and those were our closest friends. And our kids usually went to school with the people that went to church with them, and they played in the playground in the neighborhood and played ball and sports with that same group of people. And our whole life evolved around church. And we were 20 plus years at a church in Atlanta. I was one of the founding elders at the church, and the pastor. We'd been there 20 years, and he ended up passing away from an aortic dissection, and it was just that was trauma in my life because I lost a friend, lost our pastor. But then Lori and I moved to the lake, and it's been 4 years, and I would say it took us 3.5 to find the right church. We were lost. We didn't know where to go, where we needed to be, where we needed to plug in, and it doesn't feel good to be astray like that. And so when you're looking for a church like that, we only found the right church once we quit trying to find the perfect church. They all have flaws. They all have problems. And we talked about that. When you trust a business or you trust somebody, only Jesus was perfect. No company's perfect. No church is perfect. No person on this earth is perfect. So I believed in everything about our company, even though everything they did wasn't perfect. Like their execution of the digital transformation has not been flawless by any stretch of the imagination. But I trust the leadership. I trust Travis. I trust the people. I trust the company. So that's when you're sharing, your trust becomes contagious when you share your story. It's so powerful, and people are really joining you more than they are joining the business. Now, if you're going to start this month well, and we're thinking that one of the good strategies, in addition to that coaching call, setting goals, planning the month, that's the rhythm we stay in. But what if we really try to focus on this heart thing this month? If you're going to share the heartbeat of your business, you need to know the benefits. Can you tell in your story the benefits of Juice Plus? I mean, right now, I would tell you that mug of hot water with Luminate in it mid-morning has been a game changer for me. I mean, it just gets me focused, brings me clarity, gets me energy. I know that blood work and the things that happen at when you get checkups and stuff, your blood work is good. I'm in my early 60s. I'm 61, and blood work's good because I believe I've been flooding my body with fruits and vegetables for decades. So I know the benefits. I know that bromelain in pineapple is good for you, and I know that lycopenes in tomatoes, and that the deeper, richer color of the fruits and veggies, sometimes it's in the pigments in the fruits and vegetables are actually where the most nutritious parts are. So do you know, or do you need to spend some time understanding the benefits of Juice Plus? And as you share your story, are you capable of bringing that into the story? One of the things that you can do as you're sharing the heartbeat of your business is you can learn how to solve problems. You know, um, did any of you all, I mean, anybody, you have to admit you're as old as me probably, but when I graduated from Georgia Tech, um, I was doing an internship with Mead Paper Products while I was in college, and they made me take a course called Xerox 101. I don't even know if that course exists anymore, but it was just this basic a sales course that everybody took when you started in sales. I mean, across the board, generic. And the one thing they taught you was, in order to win in sales, you have to meet a need and solve the problem. You have to show that what you have meets that need. And so, have you thought about, when you're sharing the heartbeat of your business this month, what are some problems that you've seen solved in your life? Somebody can list some of those right now. What are some problems that you've brought to someone's brought to your attention, or that you've addressed, where you've brought Juice Plus and they've bought Juice Plus because they saw that what you had solved a problem? I mean, there's no telling how many people that I've gotten on the product through our Healthy Starts, where the kids get it free, and the conversation starts, my kids won't eat fruits. My kids will eat a banana and an apple, But besides that, they won't eat fruits and veggies. Kids don't like them, especially green stuff. You can solve that problem, and you can actually solve it for free because the kids can get it for free. What if, so you're having a conversation with somebody and they don't drink enough water? You say, well, that's one of our core four. As you begin to take Juice Plus and bridge the gap between what you do eat and what you should eat, one of our main things is hydration. And we focus on that. We hold you accountable. It's one of the core four things you need to do. I mean, you're hearing right now, make America healthy again. All this debate about RFK on TV. I saw a podcast this morning with Casey and Callie Means, the doctor who wrote the book Good Energy. And I try not to play politics and business, and I don't think making America healthy again is a Democrat or Republican issue. That's just what we all want for ourselves, our kids, and our grandkids. We've got to get processed foods out of our diet. And so it's staring right at us. I mean, just last month, they, banned one of the red dye products. So, and there are going to be more dyes that are going to get banned because they're poisoning us. And so we eat, how many of your kids eat too much processed food that you open a package to eat breakfast, you open a package to eat lunch. You're not eating real food. Ta-da! Here comes Juice Plus Complete. I mean, what could be better than replacing those empty calories from a processed, tear-open package than showing someone how their family could start the day with a complete smoothie or protein balls or however you want to take advantage of that protein. So you need to be able to solve problems, and we can do that. And the biggest problem we can solve, and I didn't even put it down here, is we bridge the gap because everybody has a problem. And that is, what's the gap? What's the shortfall between what you actually eat and what you know you should eat? We can bridge that gap. We can solve that problem. So that's part of you sharing the heartbeat of your business, is sharing that. But here's what we're trying to convey. I'm going to get off of the heart words, the heart language for a minute. And Beth, you can throw in here if you want to. Somewhere there is a video that we've done on relational capital, and probably you could put that link in the comments. But what we're talking about here is the value of relationship over revenue. I've never wanted to be somebody that when people saw me coming, it's like, oh, there's that Juice Plus guy. You watch, he's fixing to sell you something. He is going to pull out an application for me to buy right now. He's going to ask me my credit card number. Nobody wants to be known or felt or perceived as that person when they're approached. Everybody wants people to feel like the relationship is where the value is, not whether you say yes or no to the purchase. So, there's something that the training we did called relational capital. And I believe this is something that you grow and you build just like you do your money, your bank account. That over a lifetime, you're constantly pouring into relationships. One of the examples somebody gave to me was, you're talking to a friend, you're like, I cannot figure out what in the world is going on with this electrical problem in my house, da 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 da. And the guy says, I have somebody who is a really good friend who's an electrician, and if you call him or I can connect him with you, he's going to help you because of the relationship that we have. You're going to call on your relational capital when you need it. And so you're constantly building that relational vault, that balance and the asset. And so when you're selling Juice Plus or you want to sell Juice Plus, that relationship is a perfect candidate. But there's a way to do it, and so that they know the reason that you've brought it up. And so that's that whole process. I don't know if you've heard this or heard me say it before. It's a fact that 80% of all sales occur on the fifth conversation or after. Okay. If that's true, then what you're doing is you're having conversations so that the person's ready to purchase, ready to make a decision because you've invested in them before you've tried to transact with them. You want to invest in them before you transact with them. Does that make sense? And so if you did nothing else, what if this month, February, became the month because it's Heart Health Month, because we can talk about the heartbeat of our business? What does it look like? Explaining that to somebody. Or we can let somebody know that we care before they care how much we know. We don't want to do an information dump. So I would love for you guys to think about, I've got to start the conversations now because it's 4 or 5 down the road before the transaction occurs. I need transactions, but I care more about the people than I do the transaction ruining the relationship. Okay? So you don't propose on the first date. Relational capital is not instant. It's super duper important. Anybody has a story that you want to share it in the chat or the comments, of how this is spun in all kind of situations in your life, how it's turned out to be true in a certain scenario. Okay. But I'd love for you to make a list, and we're going to have a power hour live on Friday. But I would love for you to make a list of who needs to hear the heartbeat of your business. We reset last month. We did Reset 25. We had a great offer where they could get some free Luminate and Complete. I mean, sales went through the absolute roof. It was crazy. I mean, Debbie's story up there is earlier. She had 21 new orders. And now we're going from reset to recruit. We reset last month in order to recruit. Now, how many people that you brought on board last month would love to get to Partner Plus, would love to get a few customers to their products for free? And the way you're going to explain that, go from resetting in the health to the heartbeat of your business, not just the heartbeat of the product, is your story. Think about this concept. You're going to still tell your story to benefit their help through our product. So that, you got to think about that rhythm, that timing. But your story is so important. You've got all the research and facts, but I promise you, people are going to buy more because of your story and their belief in what you're saying than they are read an abstract, okay, of a study. Now, one of the things about our business and the heartbeat of your business is you may not reap it tomorrow, but 3 or 4 months down the road, you're going to start a month out. Let's say you're going to start the month of May. Let's just pull that out of our hat, April or May. That month's going to start so busy that you're not having to plant the first seeds. You've made intentional investments in others. Like we're talking about right now, you're going to plant seeds and you're going to build your relational capital in people's lives because you made an effort this month to let them know how much you care. And you knew that transactions might happen, but you also knew that if you made an investment for them to know how much you care, then they're going to care how much you know in March and April and May. And you're going to start a month out down the road where you've got so much that's the second, third, fourth conversation staring you in the face. You're really never going to have a bad month again. And that's my goal for you, is to convince you as you start February well, and for those of you that are in the middle of committed to having our best year ever in 2025, then you can put a stake in the ground and come back and say, February 2025, I learned that I have to stir the pot or plant the seeds ahead of the harvest I want to have. You're not going to find a farmer that plants and harvests at the same time. It just doesn't happen. Planting, seeding, and sowing always happen before the harvest. And you're always going to reap. You're going to always reap more than what you plant or seed or sow, but you're going to also reap it later than you plant or seed or sow. Okay? So don't fret putting those seeds in the ground of how much you care, because the fruit of them caring how much you know is coming. Okay. Now, the company, just like last month, they gave us a tool. How many of you have seen this? This is our new tool for the month of February. And I'm telling you, especially while it's cold right now, how many of you love, I'm just curious, how many of you like to drink Luminate better hot, or do you like it better cold? Just curious. You can put a 1 for hot and 2 for cold, or you can put a emoji for hot, a flaming emoji for hot, and that blue cold emoji for cold. Whatever you want to do. I'd love to hear how you like it best. I'm fickled. I like it best hot in the mornings and in the wintertime. I like it best cold when it's summertime or in the afternoons. So, Rhonda Hubbard, look at you, Rhonda. You just you made me ask a whole nother question. I said, "Do you like it better hot or cold?" And Rhonda goes, "Room temp." She blew me away. Okay, you have a third choice now. So, if you're on the fence, you're room temp. So you can put an emoji of a fence. So you're on the fence. It doesn't matter how you like it, but it's super impactful. And I'm a big boy, and caffeine doesn't seem to affect me. So I do 2 Luminates in my mug of coffee. I mean, it's a big mug. It's a I don't know what that is, 30-ounce Yeti mug full of hot water, but I put 2 in there. And by the time I finish that cup, I am ready to charge hell with a squirt gun. I'm telling you, focused, not just like vibrating, nervous energy. Now, Kerry Daigle at our Peachtree Boot Camp, he was a sight to behold after his 4th Luminate. So he says his wife, he told a funny story. He said his wife always gives him 4 when he's about to go out and run chores and run errands for her. And he said the funny thing is she would call him. He had his 4 Luminate and he took off to go run the chores and errands. And she called him and says, Kerry, what are you doing? He says, I'm running errands. And she says, you forgot the car. Ha, ha, ha. He had so much energy, he didn't need it. He didn't need the car. But no, don't be afraid to take 2. It's not going to hurt you. And everybody's body's different, but if you need more focus and clarity, double up. You can double up on your capsules during flu season. You can double up on your Luminate. So, is there a specific flyer promoting Luminate Hot? I don't know, but there may be. You can look on the hub and look in the Luminate section of boards. We'll try and find that. With the Head and Heart bundle, you get 75 PV points, and they get 2 boxes of Luminate, and they get a 60-day supply of Omega. So Head and Heart and Mind bundle. That goes from now until the 17th of February. It's not the whole month. It's half the month. Well, February has 28 days, a little more than half, but it ends on the 17th, okay? Great tool. All right, a couple more things and we'll wrap it up. A lot of you joined us for the best year ever when we kicked it off in January. I think it was the 8th. It was the 6th or the 8th. I forgot what day it was. But we've got all that recorded. All of that is on makealife.com/BYE 2025. Beth, you might want to throw that link in the comments. But we're going to do, this could change. So stay tuned. I've got to actually talk to Trey. We may change this until the 26th of February. There may be a conflict on the 19th. So hang on to that concept. It may still be the 19th, but we may have to change it to the 26th, and I will let you guys know about that. This Friday on February the 7th, 11 a.m. Eastern, we're going to have our live power hour. They have been so much fun to spend, and we're going to focus on that Heart and Mind bundle as one of our segments of our power hour Friday. Because when I do the live ones, I try and pick something that's really relevant and give you a creative use of time to capitalize on something that's hot right now. So we'll do that. We'll do a live power hour, and then we'll have Q&A at the end, okay? So if you go to makealife.com/power hour, that Zoom link will be there for you to join. You can always listen on Facebook or YouTube, but if you want to participate in the Q&A and interact, you got to be on Zoom, okay? We'll give you some more details about that. These are our February coaching calls. We've got February the 12th. That's the 19th. That could change to the 26th. And then next month, we'll do another calendar for you, okay? That's on the website. Blue Ridge Boot Camp. It's a smaller venue this year, a little bit for the room we have. Same location. Go ahead and go to blueridgebootcamp.com. Be added to the email lists to save the date, and you'll get a notice when the registration comes out. But we're going to do something different this year. There's going to be a huge early bird discount, like maybe as much as $50 per person discount for like the first 100. And we're going to notify you about that and give you an exact date when that's going to happen after Friday. Beth's got some final details to iron out this week with the resort, and there's the link in the show notes down there. Thank you, Beth. BlueRidgeBootCamp.com. Okay. And we had our last podcast guest, Jessie Lepicki. She was in the top 5 for the Reset contest last month. She's a Q, pushing hard, knocking on the door, headed to NMD. She was my podcast guest. She's the latest podcast. If you want to hear or sign up so you can find out about all of our podcasts, we're going to have a fitness guru, an expert, an Ironman triathlete, and I'll give you some more details soon. That's going to be on a March issue. And then Trey and I are going to have an episode on what's the most important relationship in your life. You know, our podcast, we get to mix, whoa, I hate getting phone calls. That was on my iPad. We get to mix faith and business together a little bit on our podcast. So you may want to join us on that. Our virtual prayer breakfast. We cannot have a prayer breakfast in San Diego because of the venue and the space available. So we are doing a virtual worship gathering the Friday before San Diego with Aaron Keys, and we're going to have a great time together. So you can join us. Details will come about that. It'll be on our Facebook page. And we'll have that for you on the 7th. And then in Indianapolis, the speaker and our worship leader we had booked for San Diego that we had to cancel because we couldn't get the room, Babby Mason. Some of you have heard of her. She is just a Dove Award-winning gospel music artist and just a phenomenal lady. She will be our Indy worship gathering speaker and musician. And then if you want a little cattle prod poke, it's painless, except it makes your phone beep or vibrate. Every Monday morning, I send out a text so that the goal is to inspire you to decide to make your week intentional versus reactional. Do you passively let your week happen and just take whatever the world deals at you? Or do you take charge? Do you grab the bull by the horns and say, I am not going to just take what's thrown at me. I'm going to step up to the plate and I'm going to make something happen. So this is just a reminder to plan your week and make it happen. Don't just let it happen, because life is what you make it. It's not what you let happen, okay? That's what our podcast is all about too. So wrapping up here, tying this thing in a bow, this is how you can find me. As you're a part of our Best Year Ever program, or just in general, if you go there, you can find me at Kurt Beavers anywhere, makealife.com. You can connect with me. I'm happy to do a connection call, a 3-way call, a team call to help make this come alive for you like it has for Lori and I and our family, okay? God bless you. I'm super excited about making America healthy again, and Juice Plus being such a vital part of that. I'm actually, if you want to put in here a yes, this would be a good, I'm actually going to order some MAHA hats, MAHA, Make America Healthy Again. and the back of it's going to say powered by Juice Plus. And if you are interested in one of those caps, if you'll put yes in here, like I put Beth, what could we get them to say? I want a hat, or just put hat. Yeah, just put Maha hat, MAHA hat, in the comments, and we'll reach out to you and let you know how much they're going to be. Probably $25 or something. I don't know. They're going to be Travis Matthew nice hats like the one I've got on. It's a golf brand. And it'll be Maha across the front and Juice Plus on the back. So if you want a Maha hat, let me know and we will. Now Fred Finley says yes. Don't come back at me, guys, because there are other yeses in here. I messed up. Put Maha hat. If those of you that already said yes, I need you to put Maha hat, and either Beth or Trey or I, we will gather the names that said Maha hat, and we'll let you know when we have them available. I'm getting prices and dates when they can get in this week. I just looked at mock-ups yesterday, so we'll let you know. And they're going to be like 4 or 5 colors. So when we find out, we'll reach back out to you and let you order what color you want. Okay. Be blessed. Have an amazing day. Aren't we glad that God's in charge and we're not? And if we seek him first, all these things will be added unto you because he's in charge. So have an awesome day, and we will talk to you soon. Friday, the live power hour at 11 a.m. Be there, be square. See ya.